Hello.
Hi, everyone.
So, I have been prepping all week for this. I have put myself through the arduous ordeal of watching Once Upon a Time in Mexico multiple times and every version of Sweeney Todd that I could find on YouTube. It really wasn't arduous at all. I fucking love Sweeney Todd and I love Agent Sands.
All right. I actually have, completely by chance, this crossed my Tumblr dashboard.
Ooh.
And it's just so applicable. I have no idea who Richard Siken is, but
Okay. Are you gonna post it to me?
yeah, it's loading. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. I mean, there can be no canon in it. I kind of disagree with that. I'll broadcast this for a second. I kind of disagree. I do think that you need to have some respect for the canon if you're writing if you're writing fanfic and if it isn't specified as an AU. Like,
Yeah.
One West, I get all up everybody's ass for not being in character. That means Trent. That means Nathaniel when we get to him hitting a girl or a woman. That means Rebecca. That means George. That means, like, everybody who isn't in OC, I will get up their ass for not being in character.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do agree that, within the bounds of fanfiction, you should be free to explore the universe as you see fit.
Yeah.
Take that off. Okay. So, yeah, definitely thank you for sharing that.
Yes. The original writer made the dollies, but you're the one playing with them now.
Yeah, let me wait for LiveJournal to load. Okay. Maybe I should present the screen also so that you can read it.
No, that would help.
Maybe it would. I don't know your life. Those in the crowd had been satisfied. It might be the same crowd.
For all we know.
Satisfied by Sweeney and Victoria kissing, by the way, is what they mean. And began.
Oh, no, I think that crowd, I think if it were the same crowd, they'd be like pointing and laughing.
That's fair. That's super fair. Began to disperse soon thus after. Yet I was not satisfied. Oh my god! What the fuck? I'm not reading that out loud. That's horrible.
Me neither.
I'm
sorry, but I'm sorry, but I'm pissed off right now. I'm sorry, but that was completely uncalled for.
I have said things like that in response to, like, if I'm gossiping with somebody about, like, someone trying to force a ship, I'll say something like that. But not about a solo. This is...
Yeah.
Let's see. I wanted more of him. So much more. It doesn't frighten us. It frightens you, Mervyn. Presently we came to the shop's door, and Mrs. Lovett paused to unlock it. As she entered, I made to follow her, but Mr. Todd grasped my arm and pulled me aside. I'd like a word with you, Victoria. How come he calls her Victoria? Because the last time he saw her, she was 8.
Which makes the whole kiss thing super fucking awkward, by the way.
It actually does. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why Mervyn is like, grr, thirsty sluts, grr, and not, hold on. Last time he saw her, she was 8. It's like, If you were going to object to this.
This is the same universe in which Judge Turpin sings of the girl he raised as a daughter, Joanna, Joanna, so suddenly a woman. So, you're welcome.
I mean, doesn't that kind of make it worse? Oh, sorry.
It does.
It does.
We can get to that when we spork it. But he calls her Victoria because, like, he doesn't know her as Miss Harker. He knows her as Victoria. He calls Mrs. Lovett Mrs. Lovett because that is just, like, how she's known. She doesn't even refer to herself as... Oh, you know what? It might even be that Gethsemane doesn't know Mrs. Lovett's Christian name. Her name is Eleanor, but she goes by Nellie in the play. But, like, in the fan fiction, if you choose the character, it'll say E. Lovett, and it's short for Eleanor, or, you know. Mm-hmm. But it could just be that Gethsemane doesn't know Mrs. Lovett's name.
Yeah.
But also, in the movie, the reason he called her Mrs. Lovett is just because it's Mrs. Lovett's Pie Shop Emporium, not Nellie's Pie Shop Emporium. Like, I don't know why he doesn't call her Mrs. Harker, but I feel like it's still appropriate for him to call her Victoria because of, like, how they know each other.
Yeah.
He murmured, his voice cold and slightly harsh. What the fuck? That's mean. I'm not... That's mean.
Wow, it's you know, damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Gethsemane is trying. She is trying to keep him in character, and actually that doesn't read as too bad for me, so.
Yeah, and like, because... Okay, if you're going to complain when a character is OOC, you don't get to then also complain when they're IC.
Seeing myself in no position to disagree, indeed, I would not have had... I would not have had I been offered the option. I feel like there should be a comma there. I nodded submissively. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't like the adverb submissively, but she is a Victorian woman.
Yeah.
Deliberate values dissonance.
Yes, but it's only deliberate values dissonance when... never mind. Mervyn only pays attention to it's the freaking Victorian era when she's when she can use it to be like, no, bad about it. But if she does act that way, well, then Mervyn still complains about how she acts.
So were you going to say something about how it's not actually deliberate? You were going to say something, and then you...
I don't remember how I was going to word it, but it was basically what I just said.
Okay, that's fair. And followed him somewhat meekly. Okay, you can... I feel like you could have submissively or meekly, or you can definitely either have submissively or somewhat meekly, but I feel like this is a point where she should choose.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I'd be kind of, like, bashful about, like, oh my gosh, I actually did that. You know, it was like, yeah, I'd be kind of embarrassed about it. And have had time to be like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. I made this so awkward.
That's fair. You can't be Ms. I'm Not Property and Ms. Demure Victorian Trembling Leaf Lady at the same time. You're either one or the other, not whichever one. Okay, I agree.
Okay, but people also act differently in different situations.
True. And she was saying, I'm not property to Pirelli, who was trying to claim her. But she's being Leaf Lady with Sweeney, who is like an old friend.
Yeah, it's like...
You know she fucked up, and she's like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there is a difference between this situation and that situation.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that. Okay. Oh. Whereupon he shut the door as I came to stand near the center of the room. Stop writing as if you're giving... No! Keep writing that way, okay? That's just how some people write.
Yeah.
At least I know where the fuck she's standing, not we went in the door and stood there. That's how I write. We walked into the room. What does the room look like? It's a room. I don't know what to tell you. I fucking suck at writing. Like I used to be really good at it. I think Corey one time complimented me on it, on my ability to write descriptions. For some reason, I can't anymore. I don't know where that ability went in the last 15 years.
Corey really, I can't think of a single time of Corey actually writing like a detailed description of anything other than sex acts.
She's written descriptions of dungeons, but they were being used in a sex act, so she gets half a point. It's still an E- for effort.
Yes.
Okay. It did not escape my notice that the white rose I had given him was lying gracefully atop the dressing table beneath the mirror. Aw, he kept the flower. That's sweet.
Aww.
No, bad Mervin. Where's my newspaper? I don't have a newspaper. Okay, here's my solo's diary. Bad Mervin, WAP.
Yes.
That's WHAP, by the way.
Hi, Twin. Are you trying to tell me something?
Hi, Twin.
Your auntie says hi. She's like, hi. Want your attention?
That's great. I also want your mother's attention, Twin. Hey. What in the bloody hell were you thinking? He demanded as I turned round to face him.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question. I don't like this. No, that's mean. I think it's reasonable for him to ask, what the hell were you thinking, claiming that you're my wife in front of all these people? I found out my real wife died. What the hell? I feel like that's a reasonable response.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you give my name as yours, you mediocre dunce? Okay, he didn't say that. I'm just
Come on, Twin.
adding levity to this. I don't think Victoria's a mediocre dunce at all. I think she's fine.
No.
I went over this in Discord already with Pippi backstage, but I like Victoria.
Yeah.
Anyway, why did you give my name as yours?
Well, in a slightly better written version, it would be because she fucking panicked.
Yes.
But I will admit that Gethsemane did not really do that part as gracefully as she could have.
True, but she's also an amateur writer.
Yes, that's why I'm
she gets
being so mild about it.
Yeah, she gets mostly a pass. It's like a C+, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give her a C.
Yeah.
It's not like bad, but it's kind of like, I understand that it was for plot convenience. I understand that that's what she needed to do to move the plot along.
But yeah, I can agree, like, on giving this like a solid C.
Yeah. It gives her the opportunity to tout you around town as hers. Duh, you're nothing. No! First of all, why are you calling him hun? And second of all, he's not the meat. Everybody else is the meat.
Yeah.
That
was kind of an important part of the play, I say, as somebody who's never actually watched it.
That's okay. You're not obligated to. His eyes flash.
Okay. That is legitimately funny.
Actually, I was trying to get Bex to watch, like, not the movie. She says the movie's too gory for her. But there's a version of the play. Actually, you know what? Let me pause the playthrough just for a second here. Mm-hmm. And this might actually, hopefully won't blow your ears out, but
okay.
We're gonna do some mischief. Hold on. Okay. We're gonna yeah, we'll present media player. Yeah, let's share system audio. Why not? Share system audio. Let's make sure the audio is turned down. Yeah, I'll turn it down to there.
Okay.
This is Mrs. Lovett attempting to flirt with Sweeney Todd. In my favorite version.
Okay.
There must be more to the judge. Judge? Oh, he's all on the goddamn judge. You know, that's respectable business now. I ain't coming in regular. He just kept the pick and choose just strangers and stuff like I won't be next. But he's gonna catch on. Mr. Todd, I'm so happy. I got into what I really could. You know what I like to do, Mr. Todd. What I bring, if the business life is good, well, I really like to go. In a year or so. Don't you want to know? Of course. Do you really want to know? Yes, I do. But I've always had a dream. So just a skinny little slip of a finger. Orange one day, you just take me up the seaside. It's my fault, right? A little toss in the sand. I was just on his house, just playing around in the rock here. Oh, see, Mr. Todd, that's all I got. Come before the sea, Mr. Todd. I know you love me, you and me, Mr. C. You be alone, yeah. Walking up my heart, down by the sea. Anything you say. Nothing said. With the sea and the wind, with a shiver, Karen, or this one to a spring from the sun, Karen, every night in a living off your slippers, boy, the sea. Anything you say. I can see I'm fighting, the right curse breaking, the sea goes walking. The sea goes breaking, and I do walking with you. It's one night, tea and skate with me, go, and I'm get a sweater.
Cringe warning.
Unless we go better today. Anything you say.
This is what Gethsemane thinks Victoria is doing.
That's what Mervyn thinks Victoria is doing.
You're right. This is what Mervyn thinks Gethsemane and Victoria are doing. I apologize.
For the record, though, I can barely understand a word that she's saying.
Mrs. Lovett saying you don't have to.
Okay.
I have it turned down for a reason because of the really high pitched. But like you can kind of see the body language and everything.
Oh yeah, I'm very much observing the body language.
People think so quiet, don't come by it, except I feel.
I love the period swimsuit.
But a seaside wedding could be devised. We rumbled betting the jet and
Me all in it, I'll turn it about.
I do. That's like the important part. I love those swimsuits though, yeah. I love backup dancers too. Not every production. Yeah.
I feel like the backup dancer is definitely showing up Mrs. Lovett though, like unless she's deliberately getting the choreography slightly off.
She's doing it on purpose, yeah. The idea is that they are, you know, these fantasy ladies, and she's like this 40-something woman who's like, the fantasy is unrealistic, is what they're trying to
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, that was definitely on purpose.
Yeah. No, she's a good dancer, like, for reals.
Oh, yeah, the non-consensual nuzzles.
I'm gonna turn this up now.
Give us a kiss.
Give us a kiss.
Well, that was lovely.
Wasn't that lovely?
Let us just say, you do love me just a little bit.
You do love me just a little bit, don't you? Of
Well, then I'm
course.
married. Well, it'd be a little bit like swimming, silly last things, but well, that wouldn't be too painful, would it?
I'll make them pay for what they did to my Lucy.
Then she said something like, we could, we'd have to go to some kind of chapel thingy in order to make it legal, but that wouldn't be too painful, would it? And then he's like, there must be a way to the judge.
You listen to me.
You listen to me.
It's your time to forget all bit morbid fancies. Lucy's gone.
Poor thing. It's your Nelly now.
It's your Nelly now.
There's no way the actors did not negotiate this beforehand. It's hilarious.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like they're both doing this intentionally. I love how you just kind of like, you can't see me.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
I love how his arms go like,
distressed arms flailing.
Yeah.
Mr. Toad! I found her! You found Joanna? The monster of just...
Joanna being his daughter, but yeah.
Yeah.
I found that delightful.
Yes, and but Mervin's defending Mrs. Lovett.
Yes, in the movie she's a lot less like that. See, I was trying to get Bex to watch that particular version of the stage play. One, because Mrs. Lovett is fucking hilarious. Two, because there's no gore. They don't even show the, he does the motion of the throat slitting, but there's nothing to even represent blood. Anything like that. So there's no gore. And three, partially just to be a bitch because Mrs. Lovett reminds me of Alia.
Admittedly, I also immediately thought of Alia. When you said that you were showing it to Bex, I was like, oh yeah, because that is kind of how Alia is.
Yeah. Anything also, you can ship, I can ship better. I'm sorry, what?
But also, if I were going to rewrite the kiss scene, if it was okay, you need to keep a kiss. It's okay, I think it would have been. Now, admittedly, I'm not an authority on Sweeney Todd's characterization, but I think a gentleman in that particular situation may have been more inclined to do a ghost peck, just a centimeter away from her cheek.
I would say kiss her hand, or just go awkward wave and walk off stage.
I completely forgot about kissing her hand.
Yeah, I don't know if the kiss had to, but the her calling herself Victoria Todd and going up on stage had to happen for plot reasons.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she is she realizes that she's fucked up. Mervin's giving her shit for it, but she's realized that she's fucked up.
Yeah, she's like, oh shit, oh fuck, he's gonna be so mad. Oh fuck, oh shit, I just lost a friend. Oh no. So okay,
and you'd think Mervin would be madder if she was just completely unrepentant.
If she was just I got to kiss Sweeney. I got to kiss Sweeney.
Yeah, exactly. But it's no, she's properly but that's still a bad thing because she is behaving in a way.
So the scene that I just showed you, you know how you couldn't understand when I showed you By the Sea?
Mm-hmm.
It was the same song, but this one just had more verses.
Okay.
So it was By the Sea, and all you really needed to notice was the body language and how oblivious Mrs. Lovett is versus how singularly focused Sweeney is. And
yes.
Bonus points, that version of Sweeney actually looks enough like early era Johnny Depp that I could even clip that and use it for Romaine with Aries' permission.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking of doing that. But anyway, okay, so let's continue. Focused in a hardened gaze, and I had slight difficulty in meeting them.
I mean, that's a completely reasonable reaction.
It
I
really,
mean,
it really
like,
is.
like, why are you so mad?
I wanted my true identity to remain unknown. I do not want the judge to know that I'm still alive, or else he could come and claim me as his stepdaughter. I think this vitriol is unwarranted, but I also think that, yeah, maybe she should have kept quiet.
Yeah, I do think the oh, Twin is typing you messages. Okay, I do think that the more appropriate response probably would have been like, "It's none of your fucking business what my name is," but except not with the swearing.
No, I think she actually volunteered that. I can't remember. I think she volunteered that. But no, you have a strange way of showing it. That made no sense. No, yes, it did. I don't want the judge to know that I'm still alive. I want my identity to remain unknown. You have a strange way of showing it, which Sweeney is actually saying if you wanted to remain unknown, you wouldn't have spoken up in the first place. They're making the same point.
Gee!
They're making the same point, and she's still getting shit. Okay, whatever. I noticed that his hand momentarily rested on the snowy petals of the rose. Aww. That's sweet, though. No! She's not thinking that at all. She's just like,
Oh my
oh, he
gosh,
liked the present I gave him.
why are you trying so hard to make her into this, like, it's into like this stalker character?
This, I have thought about a very different character in a very different situation. So,
And, like,
but the thing is that Victoria did not walk her little butt in and shove arsenic down Lucy's throat and then kill her daughter or anything like that. Like, that's not what's going on. She's not like, now that your wife is dead, here I am. That's not what she's doing. She's just,
yeah.
she's just
And,
trying
like,
to be friends with him again.
Yeah, also, like, doesn't Mervin's own, like, Sporking rules have, like, this prohibition against making personal attacks on the author's character? Because it really seems like Mervin is saying, you are a gross, scary person, Gethsemane.
Yeah, she said unless they're Neil, the guy that wrote Hogwarts Exposed, you're not allowed to do that. But she does that a lot.
Yeah, constantly.
I don't have a that's not in my Spark rules. I have no problem with casting aspersions at the author based on what they write if their writing is indicative of who they are as a person, and I have reason to believe that.
Yeah. All right, one sec. Twin really wants to be sent to bed.
Okay, I'm gonna heat up some food. BRB.
Alrighty. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, hon. How are you doing?
Okay.
Alright, twin. I love you. Oh, you're such a good girl. Oh, what a good girl you are. Oh, you're so cute and so sweet. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. You not want to put it in? You just want Mama to love you and pay attention to you? Yeah. Oh, what a sweet girl. Oh, yeah, is that enough, Robin? Yeah, is that enough? Okay. Hi. You're a precious girl. Oh, what a good baby. Thank you. What a sweet and precious baby. Now I have your nighttime goodies. Yeah. Yeah. Let me guess, you want your goodies, but you don't want to go to bed. Yeah. You're a sweet girl. You do hear your papa doing things in the kitchen. Yes, you do. Oh, you have such delicate little fingers. Yes, you do. Oh, what delicate little paws. What tiny paws. Thank you. You have the tiniest little paws. What little paws. Yeah. I wish you would let me hold your little paw, but I understand that you have boundaries about that thing. Yes. Hi.
Around, clap our hands. Look
Hi,
up
Gideon.
there.
Oh, hi, Lucius.
Baby.
Yeah.
He stole his father's controller.
Oh, she has stolen my chair.
Oh.
Yes,
So you didn't want to go to bed?
I guess she doesn't. She just wants to sit in my chair and maybe have me talk to her. I think she wants her nighttime treats, but she doesn't want to actually go back in her cage.
Nah.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, right now she's loafing. She's eating a little loaf. I think she may be very tired, and it might take a.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think she might be very tired because she's an old lady, and it may take a while for her to perk back up enough to be active.
Mm-hmm. Lucius did something very impressive.
Oh, what did he do?
He went and sat on his baby toilet to let us know that he needed a diaper change.
Oh, good! I'm so proud of you, Lucius.
Yeah, you did good. You did well, Lucius. You're a good boy.
Yes,
You
good
did-
boy,
You
Lucius.
did good, Lucius. You're a well boy. Don't go to the please.
All
Alright. I'm gonna pull up Salvation again, okay?
right. Hi, twin. Yes, you're a good girl. I have the goodies.
I feel like she's looking for signs that she's looking for signs.
Yeah,
I feel like she's projecting really hard.
yeah. It's like. It's like she's appointed herself to defend the sacred Johnny Depp characters from All Assailants.
Including herself, though, because she writes Sans super out of character.
Oh no, she gives herself a pass.
The whole, oh, he's already falling for her. He just got back, just found out his wife is dead, and you're already having him move on to shag your little tart.
Is that really what you took away from that sentence?
Oh, Mervin, let me tell you, there is worse out there. You ain't seen nothing. All she said was that Sweeney's hand rested on the petals of the rose that Gethsemane. Oh my goodness!
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh,
What a cute dad.
he's so cute. Look at
Oh.
you. Look at you. You're still gonna stay away from my books, though, right? You're gonna be a good boy when you're in here, right?
Hi, Twina. Are you set up too? Are you a sweet baby?
I think he knows he's on camera.
Yeah, Twina, do you want your goodies? Is it time for bed? Sorry, cut off my hair. Oh, what a good girl.
It should be time for your bed.
Yeah. What a good girl. Good girl. Yeah, she just needed some time to recharge.
You do not want yeet, Lucius. I cannot pick you up and throw you right now. No yeet. No yeet. No yeet. No yeet. This? Mwah. No yeet. Lucius, I'm not strong enough to throw you right now. No yeet. No yeet. No yeet. I love you, but no. Oh, cuddles. How about cuddles? Mommy loves cuddles. Ow. Those sharp little knees. Maybe get out of my laundry basket. There you go. You want your doll? You want your doll? Where's your doll? What's your doll? Yeah. This would be my doll, but he co-opted it. All right. Can I put the screen on?
Yeah.
Okay. Before skating to a rectangular object gilded with gold. You usually gild things with gold, but I'll let it go. I'm sorry. He opened it like it was a book. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. You are.
Yeah, you're seriously reaching, Mervin. Could you, maybe stop? You're not a toothbrush.
And handed it to me. Inside were two portraits, one of a lovely blonde woman and the other of the same blonde woman with a tiny baby. I recognized her immediately as Lucy and the child Joanna. No, she's not. Well, okay, maybe she is.
Yeah.
I've seen worse. Hey!
Okay.
Do not hit me. Do not hit me. I didn't hit him back. I just touched his cheek.
Yeah, you just patted his cheek.
Just disclaimer. Lucius, do not hit me. That is not nice. Please go to Dada right now. Lucius, take this to Dada. Give that to Dada, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, good boy.
Thank you, hon.
Yeah, no, I had to say that, I know you know I don't hit my child, but I had to say that, in case it looked that way to the audience.
Right.
If anybody watches the play, I don't, yeah.
Yeah, but, okay, Mervin, you don't, okay. You know how earlier Mervin was saying, you don't get to have it both ways?
Mm-hmm.
Mervin is trying to have it both ways. Building up whatever sick and demented romance this Suther has cooked up. He's like, you were I'm sorry, but you were defending Mrs. Lovett's honor as a major part of the story?
Yeah, but she's a canon.
Doesn't fucking matter. Gethsemane is exploring some themes, and guess what? Their themes are already in canon, but she's playing with them in different ways.
Once again, at least she didn't murder Lucy and Joanna to shove herself in there. I'm fine with this.
Yeah. It's like...
She is my wife, he said harshly, meaning Lucy. Not you, nor will you ever be. Oh, spoiler alert. This is what we call denial, except that you're going to marry her whether you like... Okay, but the story's going to make him like it because that's the kind of story this is. This is a romance story.
It's like... Hold on. Characters' opinions changing over the course of the work? I mean, that's just unheard of. Why are you...
Go ahead.
Why are you like this, Mervyn?
Loki, can you please manage the spawn? So, it's not like their deity came down from on high or up from down low and went, You are going to marry Victoria or else. I'm so glad I can do the Serlena voice again.
Me too.
So it's not whether you like it or not. It's he's going to fall in love with her and want to marry her because that's the kind of story this is. And again, it's a solo. Nobody's being pushed into this. This is fine.
Yeah, and also, like, I'm sure I said this earlier, but I'm still a little hung up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mervyn's like saying like, you know, oh, it wasn't written for critics thing is not a valid defense against my criticism. But the thing, do you know what this thing about movie critics? They go into movies without having already decided whether they like the movie before they've seen it. And they give the movie a chance in the context of what it is. And Mervyn is not doing either of those things. So she really doesn't get to call herself a... Okay, go ahead.
Question. Is it okay for me to have that same attitude Mervyn does if I co-wrote the thing?
I mean, if you co-wrote the thing, then you're not going...
Okay. I think what happened was Mervyn did read this and then decided to rip it up. Like, yes, she went in knowing she was going to hate it, read it, hated it, went back and sporked it because she hated it.
Yeah, like, she's upright admits that she was lying in wait for a OC canon fic to pop up so she could tear it apart. Sorry, defend Johnny Depp.
I think Johnny Depp is capable of defending himself, but I also don't think he reads Sweeney Todd fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he did, who's to say he wouldn't like this one? You think this would offend his delicate sensibilities? I don't. I think he's well aware of the amount of fangirls that he has. You know. So. Anyway. He sharply withdrew the portraits from my hands and placed them on the table. He turned to look at me again.
May I see the screen?
Good point. He sharply withdrew the portraits from my hands and placed them on the table. He turned to look at me again, his eyes still cold and hard. No! Bad, stop. Firstly, Sweeney doesn't say that. He said...
I don't think that's even in character for Sweeney.
If he's going to say something to someone's face, he will say, "Leave me," or "Get out." He's not going to say that.
But it's fine when Mervyn writes down Johnny Depp characters OOC.
I did not return to London, did not escape that hell just for you, he continued, his voice like the cat o' nine tails, singing with every swing of words. No! She's a 20-something, 23, I think, 23-year-old woman who, this guy she remembers as being kind to her and that she kind of had a crush on came back. And now he's basically saying, hey, don't claim that you're Mrs. Todd in public. I'm mourning my wife, dude. And she's like,
yeah.
Ouchie, that hurts. I feel like both of their responses, meaning both Sweeney's and Victoria's responses, are completely reasonable.
Yeah. Again, this is like, Mervyn, you're reading into things that aren't there. Okay?
He's saying, I didn't escape that hell just for you, which is a good point.
Yeah.
She fucked up. He's letting her know, hey, you fucked up. I really didn't appreciate that you did this thing.
Yeah, and, but it's just the words hurt, and she compared it to a thing that hurt. How dare she? She must think that this is suffering Olympics. No. I mean, where? I've yet to actually see any evidence that that Gethsemane is doing suffering Olympics.
She's not.
No,
I don't think I read this fic, I've read the full sport. And from what I remember of it, I don't think there's any point at which Victoria actually says, I've suffered more than you. I think she once does say, I suffered as much as you, but in a very I'm 23 kind of way, you know?
Yeah, and I really... Mervyn is treating it like an OC is automatically antagonistic / in competition with canons. And therefore anything about them needs to be measured up against the canons and judged for daring to, I don't know, exist in juxtaposition.
Yeah, no, I really hate that trend. There are so many beautiful, wonderful OCs out there. Your OCs are fantastic. Mine are fairly compelling. They make horrible decisions, but that's what makes them fun. I love OCs, I will always support the existence of OCs. There are specific OCs that I don't like, but it's because of what the writer chose to do with and or around them, not because they're existing as an OC.
Yeah.
And that is just uncalled for. That is rude. That is extremely rude. Okay. I returned so that I could find my wife and child and hopefully return to the life we once had, but that's a vain dream, isn't it? I mean, like I said in Discord, all it would have taken was somebody asking the beggar woman what her name was and putting her and Sweeney somehow face to face with a series of contrived coincidences.
Yeah, also, now that I think about it, it is in fact Mervyn who is who's doing the, excuse me, Sweeney, and he went through this, and this. How dare you have hurt feelings about anything?
Mm-hmm.
It's projection much?
That would be like if I complain about getting sick. Every time I complained about getting sick, you told me about your fibro and said, "Shut the fuck up."
Right?
Which
It's
you never do because you're not mean like that.
Yeah, because I'm not a huge asshole.
And if someone comes to me and is like, oh, I don't feel so well, I have a cold, I'm not going to be like, I've had bronchitis since I was 21. I am a huge asshole to some people, but not like the way that she's trying to portray here. And not the way she's portraying herself. But anyway, let's see. My wife is dead.
You both swooning, but since you were 23, my immune system has been attacking my nerves since I was born. You see how that's bullshit? Yeah, thank you for that tiny violin, right? This is not a competition.
Yeah, like we're both allowed to be miserable and in pain at the same time.
Yeah, and neither one of us is invalidated by the other. Because that's not how it fucking works. Chronic illness isn't a competition.
Anyway.
Suffering isn't a competition.
Yes. My wife is dead. No one knows what's happened to my little girl, and yet you're here, you who claimed to all of London that you are indeed Mrs. Todd. I was only trying to help. I don't need you. I don't need your help. So, how does declaring yourself Mrs. Todd help anybody except you? Actually, that would be fine if it wasn't in context of the rest of this. The rest of her commentary. That is a valid question. But anyway, it is time to switch over.
I'm kind of thankful.
You're kind of thankful.
I'm getting...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a little fed up with Mervin's behavior.
Well, good, because we're about to go to George's behavior.
Oh boy!
It's a whole different kind of bad. Do you like how we mix it up?
Yes, actually.
Oh, so I did go through this and make some more edits off screen. Because I was going through and pink lighting things, so I wouldn't have to do it, during the sport time. Yeah, I have opinions.
Yes, I do actually like to mix it up with the
nonsense, yeah.
Yes, with the nonsense, with the things that bother me, because, like, I don't know, it's like, you can't be like arm day every day and then ignore leg day. Not that I actually practice either.
It's true. Okay. I can't believe you hit on Trent, of all people. He doesn't even know for sure whether Nathaniel hit on Trent. He's taking George's word for it. Or he's reading the narration. Let's see. Piffy left off here. Segan actually went through and pink lighted the rest of this and couldn't resist adding additional commentary. Let's see. Whether Nathaniel believed George or not, Greg knew enough about the man to know he wouldn't lie to Nathaniel. Actually, no. Well, it's revealed in season 4 that emo roll call all went to high school together. Greg and George, I did not get the impression that Greg and George knew each other at school. They certainly didn't keep in touch. Also, we found that out in season 4, and at the time, Bex was on season 2 and had no idea.
Also,
yeah?
It's not even he knew the man well enough. It's he knew enough about the man to know he wouldn't lie to Nathaniel. It's like, you can, like, if it's somebody you know personally and you can personally, and it's just like, oh yeah, this person is a very honest person. I don't think they do that. But it's like, no, I just know of this person. Yeah.
At least he didn't think he would.
Gee, why are you just going on that assumption instead of, I don't know, trusting your friend?
Let's see. Actually, hold on. I have a thing I can do here. um.
I think you already made that joke.
Yes.
Until morale improves?
I guess. In fact, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Get some help, Nathaniel, honestly.
Gee, isn't he coming to his friends for help? Speaking of beating a dead horse,
No, it's a point that needs to be made.
okay.
Because these arguments with her tend to be circular. So, yes, our counter arguments can be circular. Because
Okay.
if you don't see what's happening right now in front of you, you really are lost.
Hey! Cue music.
Yes, but also it's like, oh, you can't see what's happening right in front of you. You're just blind. Like, she does that constantly.
She does.
Why?
Because
Anyway.
if she thinks it, then it must be self-evident. I don't know.
Photo.png. Except I'm smarter and I'm right.
Oh, okay. But like, if you can't see what's happening right in front of you, then you really are lost. It's like, what about you? Is this Greg or Josh? Greg. Because, your friend just came to you like saying that they'd been taken advantage of, and you're just you're immediately taking the other person's side because
because they share an admin. But
okay, literally because they share an admin, but also like in the context of if we're not metagaming, for the sake of argument, this person you don't actually know well, because you trust this person you don't actually know well more than you trust your own friend.
He looked away, shaking his head. Josh, you coming? Because I'm out of here. So much stupidity around here. I can't breathe properly.
Okay, so Nathaniel's unfriending both of these people, right?
Actually, Josh hasn't really said boo to him.
I still object on the principle of Josh being like, what the fuck, Greg? But
I'm sorry, what?
I'm still kind of judging Josh for not being like, what the fuck, Greg?
The thing about Josh is that he kind of has his head in the clouds in canon, and he's very... It's hard to get him to focus on anything that isn't going on inside of his own head.
Oh, okay.
Nathaniel shrugged the robe off his shoulders, pulling it off and putting it in his lap so he wouldn't be indecent, showing his friends his body covered in bruises and scratches.
He shouldn't have to go this far to be taken seriously by his alleged friends.
George said I asked him for sex and to do this, but I wouldn't. I'm not interested in any man right now, and he works for me. Okay, I'm gonna ping myself for out of character on this.
Yeah!
So I'm gonna have
For shame.
I know. This is me in the shame corner. I'm gonna actually no, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Okay. Ah! He has put on the shame hat and stood in the shame corner.
I mean, at least I didn't overlook it. I mean,
yeah.
Well, editing. Okay. And I'm not going home. I asked George to stay with me while we figured out this mess with Trent. I don't feel like dealing with him. And I didn't hit on Trent. Well, and give him yet another opening to do what he did again? No. Greg could only blink at hearing the rest of the story and was at a complete loss of what to say or do.
Because he's realized that he's completely in the wrong and was a big asshole and honestly a terrible friend.
Something was really wrong with Nathaniel if he couldn't get... Oh my fucking god! You keep saying that, and it keeps being because you read the narration.
Yeah, like... No one acts like this. Okay, this has gone beyond being a bad friend and into no one acts like this.
If he thought this day was weird, it was nothing compared to what Nathaniel did next. He couldn't help but stare at his seemingly out of it friend.
Well, clearly. Well, Greg already thinks that Nathaniel is lying about not wanting to fuck George and about not flirting with Trent, even after what Trent did to him. And also for someone in a show called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, he's acting surprisingly oblivious to the concept of people doing bad things to other people that they are attracted to.
who was so naturally composed, took off his bathrobe and sat it in his lap in public.
Public.
I'm bagging on her for that because, like, always civil in public. You shouldn't say that in public. She's like really, she's constantly fixated on that, so that's why Sig Bob Chicken.
Like, isn't he? I'm sorry. Where are they? I thought he visited his friend's house.
No,
Isn't this like Greg's house?
They're at the park.
They're at the park.
Wait, they're either at home base or the park. I think they're at the park.
Didn't Greg tell Nathaniel to get out of his house?
No, he said go home.
Oh.
He's sending him home from a public venue. Because
well, Greg, maybe if you weren't so freaking unreasonable, Nathaniel wouldn't feel pushed this far to prove that he was actually assaulted.
Do we need to pour Nathaniel?
Yes, we fucking do.
Okay. We'll do the original pour Nathaniel because I know I put the other one in a few times.
Mm.
Not that one. This one.
There.
For under it, Nathaniel was completely naked. Greg's mind had fried by that point, and he had to blink a few times to make sure that what he was seeing was real to try to jumpstart his brain.
Which he clearly hasn't been using through this entire encounter.
Greg lost almost all respect for his friend because he's been so respectful thus far, you see. I'm gonna move on.
Okay, speaking of being at a loss for words, I am at a loss for words.
That happens to me frequently when I'm editing these, by the way. That's why I call you in as reinforcements. Not
Fair.
because of his choices, but because of his denial. What?
What? I'm sorry. The physical injuries are just like further proof that George is totally in love with Nathaniel, and that makes everything above board.
Wait, sorry, what? The what is proof?
The injuries? Question mark.
Okay. Corey intensifies.
Corey intensifies.
Corey so intensifies. This is a very intense Corey.
Yes.
Poor Corey. I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. I'm not sorry enough to stop doing it, but I am sorry enough to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe she's changed in the past, like, 15 years. But then again, maybe not.
I mean...
But also, we're talking about the DOF character, not like the.
Yeah,
This is a drawing of the character. This is not like a photograph of the person.
yeah, like this is the. Yes.
Yes.
This is the frozen snapshot in time.
Yes. This is the character that we write for the show. This is not the actual living human being.
Yes.
Although I did find like a conversation between the real Corey and me from like 2011. Her last words to me were, "I feel like every time I try to be your friend, I regret it." Or no, "I feel like every time I try to be your friend, I'm punished for it."
Oof.
If that isn't the most Akuma thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Anyway. Greg could see it plain as day on Nathaniel's face and in the narration.
Oh. So you could see it plain as day on Nathaniel's face that
That he's in denial.
everything is actually okay?
That Nathaniel's in denial.
About Does Greg know that person A being in love with person B does not actually equate to consent from person B? Please excuse me, I need to make some Akuma noises right now.
Because it's not just it's not just Greg and George that have this problem. It's also, there's a moment with Kat and Nathaniel in the side chat where Nathaniel basically says, "Sorry, I don't want to have sex with her," and either Bex or Kat or both is like, "Why are you denying your true feelings?" And then Nathaniel's like, "Is it only women that are allowed to have bodily autonomy? What the fuck?" And they're like, "Excuse me?" So yeah, I look forward to that in a few chapters.
Oh boy.
But at some point, we are going to be doing this side by side with the side chat. And not only that, we're going to be switching between One West, the pros, the side chat, my Faustus Freya, and Aries Faustus Freya.
Oh gosh. I feel like at some point you are going to track down a third Faustus and Freya to show me.
Actually, yes. I am. And that is, we'll actually go over that before we get to the one with me, and that is the solo that she wrote and said, "Please, someone write this with me." Yeah, we're gonna get to that eventually. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get to all of it. And the way he had worded it, "Not interested in any man right now." Did that mean Nathaniel liked men? It was almost too much.
Being attracted to men is not consent. What the fuck?
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think what he's saying is, "Oh my god, Nathaniel likes guys?"
Oh, wait. So. Hold on.
You can delete that.
So he was going through that entire, like, "Oh my god, why are you so fucking oblivious? What's wrong with you?" under the assumption that Nathaniel is straight? worse. While straight. No. That's a question mark and exclamation point.
Yeah, the interrobang unfortunately does not like show up anymore,
which is a shame.
It's a shame, yeah. It's also, excuse me, how's that almost too much? How is it relevant at all to what he's been talking about? Serenity, it's not, but I can go for a good Nathaniel ship pick right now. Yeah. Maybe he thinks Nathaniel's a girl? No, wait, that's worse. Sorry, I'm not going to say that.
But okay. If Nathaniel were a girl, then Greg would have been going after all of this, assuming that she was a lesbian. The issue is not whether this is not necessarily straight versus gay. It is being attracted to men versus not being attracted to men.
I'm not interested in any men right now. Did that mean he liked men? Like, why is that your focus? That is such a weird thing to be focused on right now, though, for Greg.
What do you mean? It's almost, yes, exactly. It's almost too much. What the? The sense making, it is not.
Nathaniel, look at yourself. What are you doing? Greg exclaimed as he motioned to his disrobed friend. Cover up, you're in public.
He is covering up.
Public. He wasn't getting in the middle of the whole Nathaniel George thing. Bullshit!
Bullshit! He was very much in the middle of it, putting himself in the middle of that.
Is Epiphany around for this, or are we gonna say we're using a promotional still?
Epiphany has been spared due to how much fucking goes on in this fic.
We do have an Epiphany shouting, or an Epiphany saying bullshit.
We do.
We also have one saying that's your intent all the time, I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
So I'm going to look for that one. But if I can't find it, I'll put in this one. You're not helping your case here. I wish I had inputted all the epiphanies at the same time.
Mm.
Yes, it's this one.
Yes.
But he did lock onto what Nathaniel was ranting about Kat. So if you're upset, call and apologize.
Apologize?
George and Greg are both pushing Nathaniel to apologize to Kat. It's appropriate for Greg because Nathaniel expressed horror at what he'd put her through, meaning taking her to a porn movie. He was so out. Yeah. When he came to, he was horrified about that. But this still feels like Beck's going, you upset one of our headmates, now you have to say you're sorry or we'll all be mad at you. Does this get a division bat?
Yes! Bring out the bat!
I love that you made that. Like, I love that you specifically are the person who made that.
Oh, thank you.
I have loved that image for 17 years. Wow.
Oh, you're making me blush.
Wow. It's been a while. It has been a while since the forum days.
Yes.
Let me know if you find. Let me know if you see it, because
I will. It must be higher up than this.
Really?
There!
Oh.
There's next to Babe.
I'm gonna make it a bigger bat.
Yes.
It's blurry, but I feel like it needs to be. Yeah, there we go. Piffy, I have some concerns about animal welfare. You're over here throwing pigs and hitting people with bats. I have a mighty concern. Have you done that yet? Gods, you are so disgusting today. Wow, the man is covered in scratches and bruises, telling you he was sexually assaulted again, this time by someone he hired to protect him from the first person who assaulted him. You're fucking berating him and calling him disgusting. You're disgusting. You are a horrible person. That's one of those things I could not help adding in when I was looking for pink.
Oh, I cannot blame you for a second. Like, Mervyn thinks that Victoria is enraging. It is to laugh.
Poor Victoria. Victoria deserves like 0 of the shit she gets. Also,
poor Nathaniel.
In fact, I'm going to make this the same size as GLaDOS.
We weren't even testing for that.
Go home, get dressed, call Kat, and work your shit out. I am serious, man. You look awful. Do something to help yourself.
Do something to help.
Penguin screams and starts throwing things while frothing at the mouth. Elibrius sets fire to the commentary room. A Coombob chicken. Do something to help yourself. Discussing traumatic experience with friends is in the DBT Handbook of Healthy Coping Strategies. Although it wouldn't be if everyone had friends like Fanfic Greg. Everyone is actively making Nathaniel feel worse about what happened and acting like he brought it on himself. Which, come to think of it, might actually be Bex lashing out via her characters at Segan for writing in this conflict in the first place instead of just letting Trent and Rebecca be ushy-gushy happy together.
But Bex agreed to creating the conflict. Well, did Bex think that, like, there would not be a conflict as a result of the thing that she agreed to have George do to...
No, the conflict that I'm referring to is Trent sexually assaulting Nathaniel, because that's where this kind of starts at. Trent sexually assaulting Nathaniel, and then Nathaniel catching feelings for Trent is the conflict that Bex is punishing Nathaniel for. In fact, when we first got back into contact and I said, okay, I can override Faustus's crush on Lucifer and have him just go back to being all about Freya, while I'm at it, is there anything else you'd like to take out? And she said, can you take out the Trent Nathaniel stuff? And I said, no, we're already too far in. We're already too far past that point. It wouldn't work. So I have the feeling that this bothered her at the time, but rather than come to me and say, like, at the time, hey, could you just take out Nathaniel catching feelings or something like that? Actually, no, I take that back. I'm not sure to what degree we discussed it, but I do remember arguing with her over whether or not Nathaniel's catching feelings was realistic or not. But then again, Bex just, like, I found out later, just hates self-shipping. Like, Lydia had a couple of characters that were self-shipped with each other. Like, oh god, it was Dagfin and someone else. And then, like, she had 2 characters who were self-shipped with 2 of her other characters. And Bex, and when those characters were her shipmates, she just shat on the self-ship ones. If that makes sense.
Wow.
Like, okay, so let's say Bex is dating, or Bex's character is dating Scorpa, and Scorpa keeps Dagfin around for sex. Or no, it was Bloodhair. Scorpa keeps Bloodhair around for sex, right? Or their boyfriends or something. She just shits all over Bloodhair for no reason. And to the point where Lydia almost deleted Bloodhair and Dagfin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah. So everyone is actively making Nathaniel feel worse about what happened and acting like he brought it all on himself, which, come to think of it, might actually be Bex lashing out via her characters at Segan for writing in this conflict in the first place instead of just letting Trent and Rebecca be ushy-gushy happy together.
If you don't like something, fucking talk about it!
He shook his head and turned to leave. Josh, come on or get left behind. Again with people ordering Josh around.
Josh is a prop, right?
I'll have Akuma ask that.
Yes, have Akuma ask that.
I misspelled ficus. Josh didn't get what Greg was on about, and he and Nathaniel sat there making confused faces at each other.
I mean, that is an incredibly valid response. Greg is, in fact, the one who is ranting and raving.
Josh and Nathaniel are just like, do you know what he's talking about? Do you know what he's talking about? Or maybe he's off his meds? All right, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Whoa, Josh said, dude, you look like Greg did that time he got drunk and had sex with a bush. But something did click in his brain. Greg was right. He was completely starkers. And he hadn't got out this way last night, but he'd woken up naked, which meant, son of a bitch!
A woo.
And a woo, and a smaller a woo. Anyway, so Nathaniel hadn't gone out naked, which means George must have stripped him.
Yikes!
Trent finally selected a blue and green striped tie and grabbed his briefcase. Okay, we're back here with the mood whiplash. Yay!
Mood whiplash.
He still had time to run an errand before his meeting, and that's pretty much the entire night. Rebecca smiled whimsically up. I love the adverb whimsically, and it is a departure from playfully, but it also sounds really silly. Who seemed to glow with excitement. The glow cloud!
All hail the glow cloud.
She had glossed over the experience with Nathaniel, not wanting to ruin the mood nor take away from her joy. The experience being Trent asking for a threesome with Nathaniel and then Trent molesting Nathaniel. You know what? Hold on. Akuma's gonna call her out for this. Okay, it's definitely not past the hold on. Oh, there it is. And Paula had only rolled her eyes at her mentioning him, so she knew everything now.
She rolled her eyes at hearing that Nathaniel got sexually assaulted.
I will correct that typo in a second. Yeah,
well.
I glossed over it, but Paula knew everything. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to answer that question. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway. Gods, that is so romantic, Paula. Gosh, who knew Trent was capable of something like that? Taking that with the above commentary is very yikes.
Very yikes.
Also, keep in mind, Threnody is Nathaniel's adopted daughter, and she's sitting through this.
Oh gosh, maybe we should force Epiphany to go through this too.
Next episode. Episode. Yeah. Whatever.
Next chapter.
Yeah. How do I? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to. Whoops. No, that's not right. Well, it's not, but I'm going to keep it as a quote. There we go. Me, I did. Props for using one of Trent's canon lines. I can see her pointing to herself and grinning the way he does too. And then Threnody. Hold up. I don't think Paula should be happy for Rebecca. And I went over all of this with Piffy in Discord, but y'all got to sit through it too. From Paula's perspective, this woman who's repeatedly said no to Trent for the past 4 years is now all of a sudden saying yes, and she's berating anyone who dares question her safety as they're just jealous. Paula also saw Trent throw a man across the room right after learning that Trent sexually fantasized about murdering this man and raping his corpse. Now, all of a sudden, Trent, whom Paula already knew has a history of stalking, blackmailing, breaking, and entering, is engaged to her best friend. This is also just a few days after Rebecca was crying on Paula's shoulder about Trent fixating on the man he fantasizes about murdering while having sex with Rebecca, and subsequently going off to sexually assault that man when Rebecca refused to include him in a sex game. Rebecca viewed this as Trent cheating on her, so from Paula's perspective, her best friend is suddenly getting married to a known blackmailer, stalker, batterer, rapist, and cheater. Paula should be terrified for Rebecca and making plans on the sly to get her out of the situation.
You mean Paula should be doing that instead of making bomb threats to people who are actually concerned? Honestly, I wish to offer Threnody a sympathetic pat on the back.
Well, I knew he's a total romantic.
Total romantic.
But something like that, I was just floored with excitement, and I couldn't believe. He's glossing over the thing with Nathaniel, remember?
Okay, but Paul is just letting her gloss that over?
Well, she's a sock puppet and she already knows it, so yeah.
They're supposed to be best friends. A best friend. Wait, back up?
Whoops. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna edit the formatting in a second, but it's also 7:59, so.
Oh, so it is.
Yep. Well, thank you for sitting through both of these with me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yay.
They were terrible in very different ways.
They were terrible in very different ways, yeah, and I'm kind of glad of that, honestly.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining.
It's good to have variety.
Variety.
Oh my gosh, I did that exact same hand movements. You know me too well.
Yes, I do. So, but do you want to play more Nosya after you get off the phone with your parents, or are you socialed out? To be clear, that will be you playing and me voice acting.
Well, yes, naturally. I think I will be socialed out by the end of the call.
Okay.
Maybe another time though.
All right. Huggles. Bye.
Huggles. Bye. Love you.
Love you too.